Party popper Coco Gauff's incredible. Victory at the 2025 Wuhan Open. A. Champion's Journey Trophy sparkles. The night sky above Wuhan was alive with electric anticipation. Every light in the Optics Valley International Tennis Center seemed to pulse in rhythm with the crowd's heartbeat. Flags waved, chants echoed, and the atmosphere trembled with energy. At the center of it all stood Coco Gauff, her gaze locked on destiny. She wasn't just another young player chasing glory. She was a symbol of a generation, a beacon of hope, resilience, and brilliance. And on this defining night of the 2025 Wuhan Open Final, Coco didn't just play for a trophy. She played for legacy. As she wiped her sweat-drenched brow and adjusted her grip, a quiet smile formed. It wasn't arrogance. It was confidence, born from countless hours of work, countless battles fought in silence. Across the net, Jessica Pegula, her compatriot friend and rival, stood, ready, determined to defend her crown. The air was thick with tension. Two Americans, two warriors, one title, and one moment that would echo through tennis history, from a dream to destiny. Before the world called her Queen Coco, she was just a little girl in Delray Beach, Florida, with a racket in her hand and fire in her heart. Her journey wasn't built on privilege. It was built on persistence. At 15, she stunned the world by defeating Venus Williams at Wimbledon. At 16, she proved it wasn't a fluke. At 17, she began building her empire. And by 21, she was no longer the future. She was the present. The Wuhan Open wasn't just another tournament for her. It was a battlefield where she sought to prove that her U.S. Open triumph, her WTA 10,000 wins, and her consistency were no accidents. This was about evolution, about showing the world how a teenager had transformed into a mature champion. I came here with a purpose, she told reporters before the tournament, not to play for points, but to play for perfection. The road through Wuhan, the Wuhan Open 2025, was fierce. A battleground where the best of the best clashed, from Oren Sablenka's raw power to IG's Swiatek precision every round. Tested Gauff's resolve. She started strong, slicing through her early opponents with crisp forehands and steely confidence. Her movement on court was poetry in motion, light, fluid, yet deadly. Her footwork painted circles around her rivals. Her defense turned to offense in an instant, and her serve thundered like a declaration of intent. Then came the semifinals, a test against Jasmine Polini, the Italian dynamo known for her fighting spirit. It wasn't easy. Every rally stretched her. Every point demanded hard. But Coco stayed patient, crafting her plays with strategic precision. Her 6-4, 6-3 victory wasn't just a win. It was a message. I'm not here to survive. I'm here to dominate the All-American final. And so it came down to perfect storm. Coco Gauff versus Jessica Pegula. Youth versus experience. Explosiveness versus control. Pegula, the ever-consistent tactician, had been Gauff's mentor and doubles partner. Together they'd shared triumphs and tears. But on this night, friendship faded into rivalry. They knew only one could stand on the Wuhan throne. The crowd was divided. Some chanted, "Go, Jessica," while others roared, "Let's go, Coco." Yet everyone knew this match would define more than just a title. It would define the hierarchy of American women's tennis. The match begins fire, meets focus. From a very first serve, the match ignited with explosive energy. Pegula struck first, breaking Gauff's serve in the opening game with relentless precision. But Coco wasn't rattled. She clenched her fist, nodded once, and responded with her trademark intensity. Her returns gained depth, her footwork sharpened, and her defense became unbreakable. She began forcing Pegula into uncomfortable rallies, drawing her out wide, then slicing the ball just inside the line. Each rally was a story, one of power and patience, of aggression and adaptation. By the sixth game, the crowd sensed a shift. Coco broke back, unleashing a backhand down the line that froze Pegula mid-step. She screamed, a primal roar that cut through the Wuhan night. Momentum had changed hands. The turning point. The set was tied 4-2, for when Gauff delivered what could only be described as a masterpiece, Pegula sent a deep forehand into the corner, forcing Gauff to sprint. Coco lunged, stretched, and flicked the ball. Cross-court, a defensive miracle. Pegula countered with a volley, but Coco, impossibly fast, reached it again, looping a lob just over her rival's head. Pegula chased, stumbled, and watched as the ball dropped perfectly on the baseline. The crowd erupted. Cameras flashed. Commentators lost their voices. In that moment, Coco wasn't just a player. She was a phenomenon. She clenched her fist, looked at her box, where her parents stood with tears in her eyes, and mouthed, "This is mine," dominance defined. After capturing the first set 6-4, Gauff elevated her game to near perfection. Her confidence was unshakable, her focus absolute. Every point she played had purpose. Every shot carried a message. She began mixing spins, angles, and speeds that left Pegula guessing. Her drop shots floated like feathers. Her passing shots sliced through like lightning. Pegula, ever the fighter, tried to regroup, but Gauff had found her rhythm. That rare, unstoppable flow state where the body and mind move as one. Coco's playing out of her mind. One commentator said this is her coronation moment. And indeed it was the final game, the birth of a queen, at 5-3 in the final set. Coco stood at the baseline to serve for the championship. The entire arena went silent. You could hear the wind brush against the court surface. She bounced the ball twice, took a deep breath, and unleashed a 120 miles per hour serve. An ace right down the tee, 15-0. Then a blistering rally ended with a cross-court backhand winner, 30-0. The crowd was on its feet. Pegula fought bravely, sending one last challenge deep into Gauff's backhand corner, but Coco answered with brilliance, a running forehand winner that painted the line 40-0 championship point. She took one last look at the crowd, then tossed the ball high. Her serve thundered. Pegula returned weakly, and Gauff pounced, slamming a forehand into open space. Game, set, match. Coco dropped to her knees, tears streaming down her face. The roar of Wuhan filled the night. The coronation as the trophy ceremony began. Coco stood draped in the American flag. The crowd chanted her name. Sayo, 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 Pegula, ever the gracious. Veteran hugged her tightly. You earned this, she whispered. The silver trophy gleamed in Coco's hands, reflecting the journey of a girl who became a woman, a contender who became a champion, and a talent who became Queen Coco. The queen has risen crowned. From her first swing as a child to her crowning moment in Wuhan, Coco Gauff's journey has been nothing short of extraordinary. Her story is a symphony of courage, brilliance, and belief, a reminder that greatness doesn't wait for permission. When the final ball dropped and her name was etched onto the Wuhan Open trophy, the world didn't just witness a win. They witnessed a rebirth of power, of hope, of American tennis royalty. Coco Gauff, the queen of Wuhan, had risen, and her empire of excellence had just begun. Sparkle's greatness isn't given. It's earned. One swing, one sacrifice, one moment at a time. Coco Gauff, thank you for watching. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like and share. 2. Next